what's up, everybody? I realized that we keep forgetting to introduce ourselves in the beginning. So I'm Maria.
I'm Zach.
And we are literally just trying to meet Blink-182.
It's a podcast.
It's a podcast, believe it or not.
And we're just chilling. You know what I mean? What's up, Araya? How's it going?
We're just two guys.
What's the deal, Araya? What do you have going on? What's today?
Today's plus 44.
It's plus 44 day. We are extremely excited. It's one of my favorite records of all time.
Yeah.
When Your Heart Stops Beating. We've upgraded the microphone situation here. This podcast is starting to get a little more professional, I guess. Yeah?
I guess so, yeah. Next time we'll have actual mics for these so we don't have to hold them.
Mic stands.
Mic stands.
These are mics.
These are mics.
Mic stands. Today is Saturday, December 7th. I passed the kidney stones, so everything's okay.
I think we did talk about that last... No, we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't really know what was wrong with me yet. I had kidney stones. I passed them through my urethra. I will release the chronicles of that. That was kind of cool, right?
Yeah, that was good, yeah.
But also, big shout out to Mark Hoppus.
Big shout out to Mark Hoppus, guys. Whew.
That was crazy. He shared.
Last episode, we talked about me being all excited because Mark did his Twitch stream and he responded to one of my questions. But some new developments, he reposted some of our posts on his Instagram.
We did posts about Easter eggs in movies and in TV shows.
Yeah.
And I guess he liked them. And so shout out to you, Mark. I really appreciate the share. And I'm glad that you're digging what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it was exciting because I don't have Instagram notifications on, and I was on my personal Instagram, and I was just watching Mark's story as I do, and I saw my face, and I was like, oh my God.
Same, yeah. Because he did two different posts, one with her, one with me, and I really didn't think he was going to post the second one either. Yeah,
but he did.
We just
Unexpected
wanted to give,
and so appreciated.
To give Mark a big shout out for that, and it's good to feel appreciated for, some stuff that we're just having fun with,
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
plus 44 day, is there any Blink news?
None that I can think of, but Mark did play was it last night at the Palladium?
Hollywood Palladium down the street, like
last
a block
night,
away.
Yeah, with Joyce Manor.
They're a good band, though, so that was really cool.
But yeah, Mark joined the stage for a song, and everybody freaked out. It was awesome.
So today, but pre this episode, which you guys will see on Instagram probably before this is released, we went to the studio where Plus 44 recorded this record. We did some location content. We're going to do more of that. We're going to do more content in general, and we just appreciate everybody for sharing our stuff. And we appreciate you guys showing all the love. So February 22nd, 2005, Blink-182 announced their indefinite hiatus.
Yes, so we're going to just hop right into it.
So take it from early 2005, Araya.
So early 2005, Hoppus and Barker began laying down new ideas, recording in Barker's basement and Hoppus's dining room. Feels weird calling them by their last name. By necessity, everything was electronic, with the two musicians experimenting with electronic drums, samples, keyboards, and direct computer recordings. So obviously, the beginnings of Plus 44 were quite humble. They didn't have the support that Blink did, label support, and so they made do with what they had. So in April, the first news breaks of Plus 44's formation via MTV News. I believe Mark did a slight interview with them. Blink-182's Mark Hoppus and Travis Barker form Electronic Side Project. The band's name is a reference to the UK's country code Plus 44, which is what you dial when you're calling. And I believe that is where Mark and Travis had originally discussed making the project. They were in the UK, so it just kind of made sense to make that the band name. Not sure if that's confirmed. But yeah, so originally Travis had invited his friend Carol Heller to provide vocals on a track, formerly of the all-girl punk quartet Get the Girl. Heller traded and shared vocals with Hoppus on most of the band's early demos. We just listened to the early demos.
I remember when they did release that too. It was pretty cool. And I was like, oh, I want that. And then I listened to it and I was like,
Yeah, I mean, they're demos, so.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. But I appreciate demos, though, so it was actually super sick, yeah.
For sure. Meanwhile, Hoppus invited friend Shane Gallagher to play the guitar on a few tracks, and he was soon drafted as a member. So the band agreed early on, and especially after that first interview Mark gave. They didn't want to speak to the press during this time, so they were just trying to work in silence. Much unlike Tom, who kind of, when he first announced Ava, it was interview.
Yeah, they were big time on the press and just hot. But it worked for whatever he was doing, but it was going to work no matter what. You know what I mean?
It worked, but it also set a bar for what people were expecting.
Right.
You know.
And I think it was super cool that they disagreed to talk to the press at that time, because I feel like it gave them time to focus on what they were doing and not have all the noise going on around them. You know?
And the press took that first interview that Mark did and just like spun it and like
that's what they do, man. That's what they do. The press, that's all they do.
Yeah. So
and the media.
It was a good call, I think.
So as early as August 2005, the release date for When Your Heart Stops Beating was anticipated and publicized by the music press. Internet rumors began to circulate that the album would be released in January of 2006, although the band's management denied the claims. Thanks to Hoppus and Barker's silence on press interviews, misinformation flooded the internet in the months prior to the record's release, and the countless imposters posted fake songs online, which I remember when all of this was happening. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what's real? What's not? Mm-hmm. What are they doing? Mark spent his time working on it in relative secrecy, spending time updating his blog and producing tracks for Motion City Soundtrack, which was super sick. I remember when that was going down.
In October, Mark and Travis purchased their own North Hollywood studio from former Poison guitarist Richie Kotzen, so that's what we were talking about.
And that's where we went today.
Which they dubbed Opera Music. Production of the record then started to move along quite swiftly. Obviously, they went from Travis's and Mark's houses to a studio. So the electronic sound that they originally started with kind of shifted. After moving all the band gear into the new recording center, the entire direction of the band evolved into a more organic sound. Carol became uneasy with the new direction and, with a desire to start a family, parted ways with the band by the end of the year. Shortly afterward, Craig Fairbough. Craig Fairbough came in to observe, listen, and to play songs. By the end of the day, Mark and Travis asked him to become the fourth member of the group, replacing Carol Heller, although she can still be heard.
All right, let me just say something right now.
Say it.
How could you possibly walk away from doing a project with Mark and Travis? She obviously just didn't care about what they were doing. She started a family, which, yeah, cool, that's great and all, but you can do both. But I would never piss away an opportunity like that. People wait their entire lives to even be, like produced or something by someone like that. She's in the band. Dude, I would have rode that all the way to the fucking till the wheels fell off. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So December 13th, 2005, No It Isn't, Plus 44's first official release, debuts for digital download on their official website. Perhaps uncoincidentally, I think I said that very well.
Uncoincidentally.
I like uncoincidentally.
Do you?
Uncoincidentally, dentist. It was released on Tom's birthday. Yep. No way. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So obviously the No It Isn't track is not a diss track, but it's pretty heated, and you can tell it's directed at
How could that not be a coincidence?
And I'm a little confused if anyone has any clarity on this. It did say they officially released it, but I couldn't find concrete evidence of the fact that people said it was leaked.
The demo is definitely leaked, I remember.
The demo was leaked?
Yeah, okay. From what I remember, and I have a pretty solid memory.
Okay.
500,000 joints later, but...
I read that No It Isn't was kind of streaming as like background music on their official website. So what happened was like somebody ripped it from the website and then released it officially.
Interesting.
They released it, and then the band would later officially release it.
If you guys have more knowledge on this, though, we can only find so much. If you do have more knowledge, just write us.
Yeah.
Because we'd love to shout you out and have more clarity.
Yeah. I just saw so many different answers, so I don't know. But there's some speculation as to the name title. So obviously we can tell it's about Tom, but some people say No It Isn't is because a lot of people were asking Mark if the song was about Tom, and his response was No It Isn't. Some people say that.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, because it's like, why is it called
I didn't know that.
And then a YouTube comment said they named it No It Isn't because the last words Tom spoke before leaving the room where they were all discussing were like, it's ridiculous. The idea that like Blink should still be touring and active bands, like Tom felt that was ridiculous, and like that was the last combo he had with Mark, and so Mark's response is No It Isn't.
And so
I don't know, guys. Another thing that if you know more about, let us know.
And the thing is like, dude, they were probably so fucking burnt out. Yeah. Like, you got to think about how many years they'd been going.
Yeah.
And how much they'd been through before they even got to like, Enema. Like, go back on all the episodes. We talk all about it. And it's like, it makes sense.
It's hard on your body, too. The peak fame, they were in their era of the 20s when it's easier on your body to be touring and being away from your family and all these things that, like, are tough on the body, the mind, the spirit,
Money's cool and stuff, and touring and all the love is great. but you have to ultimately be happy with what you're doing to put your all into it, and you have to put your all into it if you're at that level. Because they're at a level where it's like, dude, like, it's all or nothing, and we have to really give all of ourselves to this. This is our perspective on the situation. Yeah. I mean, who are we?
We're nobody.
We're just two people on two love seats.
True.
Okay,
so early 2006, Fuse begins a partnership with Mark and his podcast under the new site Just for the F of It. It's the first such relationship with Mark, one that potentially begat his later television show for Fuse, Hoppus on Music, which ran between 2010 and 2012. That was a really great show.
I feel like we can relate to Mark on that. Just for the F of it. Like, we started this just for the F of it.
Just for the F of it.
You know, we were like, hey, remember that day we were at the pool and we were like, I think we took a picture, we're like, our podcast is coming. This was years ago, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Araya were
I'll put it here because I have it archived. This is my photo and this is the caption.
Yeah, so we took this photo and we did this thing and we were like, yeah, we'd be really good on a podcast, and we just didn't do anything for years. And then one day, like, I don't know, it was pretty recent. We're like, let's just do it. I'm like, let's just do everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and we've been doing really good with a lot of different things in our lives because we're like, let's just do everything.
Yeah.
And I inspire you guys to do the same. Just do everything, and eventually everything will just start happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I want to pause real quick and do a swag check.
Okay, go ahead.
Which maybe we should do from now on.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's fun. Today I am wearing Catherine Moan, who is my wonderful best friend and client. Very good synth pop artist.
Show him the whole shirt. Like, yeah, like move the mic is what I mean. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Basically, I thought it would be good to wear some sort of kind of like synth electronic shirt to resemble Plus 44's original sound, the, more electronic beginnings.
Yeah, check out Kath Moan because she's a great artist as well.
She's great.
Electronica.
Synth poppy electronic vibes. It's good. And then what are you wearing?
Well, I ran out of Blink shirts. I'm ordering more. So, unfortunately, I didn't have anything, so I wore Nirvana. I got this for $2 at Goodwill.
Nice.
And honestly, it looks like a $40 shirt.
Nice.
Then I have my hat, my King Taco hat. I wore it because I wore it in the video that Mark posted. Right. So I figured, hey, might as well just be like, hey, Mark, remember this hat? But the story behind this hat is sick. The cook from King Taco gave it to me. He said, I asked him, hey, how could I get a King Taco hat? And they're like, you can't, you have to work here. And I was like, all right, well, sign me up. I'll work for the day. And as long as you give me a burrito too. And they all started laughing in the back. So I'm waiting for my food. And the cook, out of nowhere, someone taps me on the shoulder. The cook came around and gave me a brand new King Taco hat.
You're kidding.
Yeah, that's how I got it. You have to work there to get it. So it's actually super sick hat.
That is amazing. That's so nice. Okay.
Okay.
Back to 2006. The movie Stick It was released in theaters in April 2006, which the Blink song Anthem Part 2 is included in the soundtrack in the movie. We said that in the previous episode, but there's going to be some timeline overlap here with Ava. Mm-hmm. We don't need to whisper specifically.
Right.
We're in September. Plus 44 announced their first North American tour dates. They performed their first show at the Roxy in Hollywood, California. And they film the music video for When Your Heart Stops Beating.
I'll be there when your heart stops beating.
During this video shoot, Travis actually really injured his arm. And
oh, yeah, that's right, dude.
And the doctor told him to rest and not take part in the band's upcoming live dates, including early 2007 jaunts to Australia and Europe. Travis, nevertheless, took part in these shows, but after an excruciating Amsterdam gig, the band drafted Gil Sharon, then of the Dillinger Escape Plan, to fill in for him. So
I didn't know that. Do you know who the Dillinger Escape Plan is? They are one of the gnarliest bands in the world.
Really?
They are very hardcore. There's one legendary video. They're playing in a mall. This was early Dillinger. They're playing in a mall and they get into the song, and then as soon as the lyrics start and he starts screaming, the singer runs on top of the crowd and literally just steps so hard and walks so far, like 20 feet into the crowd. That's how packed and up it was. I didn't know Dillinger's, what is a drummer played with them?
I assume, yeah.
That's super sick.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. You learn something new every day.
That's right.
November, on 11/14, Plus 44's debut album, When Your Heart Stops Beating, is released. Largely inspired by other bands such as the Postal Service, Missing Persons, and The Cure. The album has been described statistically, stylistically as pop punk, emo pop, and alternative rock. Plus 44 performed at Bowery Ballroom in New York, New York, beginning of the first stint of the When Your Heart Stops Beating tour. They then performed on The Late Show with David Letterman, and then they did an in-store signing at Virgin Megastore Times Square. Well, I do have a personal story about this record. You guys always hear me talk about Ote. Me and Ote were obviously big Blink fans. And obviously they broke up and all this stuff was happening, but then Plus 44 came out, and our best friend Seba, shout out to Seba, he moved to California. Okay, so when he moved to California, we were like, we got to go visit Seba, you know, because we always dreamed of going to California. So we actually washed like 100 cars to get our tickets to California. Okay, so we had a car washing business. Our next trip was going to be to Hawaii, but we gave up on the business because it was just too many cars. But anyways, we finally got up enough money to go to California. We bought our tickets, and me and him were going alone on the plane. We were like, I think dude, honestly, we had to be like 13 years old. We were very young. And this was around when Plus 44 released the album. The main reason we were going, obviously we were going to see Seba, but Plus 44 was doing a signing at a Best Buy in, I think it was the one over, it's right near here, dude. It was a Best Buy, some random Best Buy, and they were going to do a signing, and we were like, dude, we have to go. So that's the main reason we got the tickets. So long story short, right? We go to the airport. I'm nervous because I'd never been on a plane before. I think I may have been on once. And we get all the way in. We get onto the plane, and we're in our seats. I'm sitting down. I got my seatbelt on, and I'm like, dude, I think I'm going to puke. And then he's like, well, just go puke. And I'm like, all right, screw it. So then I go, and I just fucking puke all over the bathroom, like in the toilet, obviously. Puking. I come out, and I feel a lot better. But they go, hey, unfortunately, we can't let you fly with us. And I'm like, what do you mean I can't fly? I feel fine now. I just had to puke. They're like, it's a policy. If you're puking like that prior to the flight, you can't get on the plane.
No.
And I had no parental, no parents with us. So, dude, they left without me. And Ote went, and I didn't get to go. And Ote got to meet them and get autographs. I still have the autographs to this day. I'll try to find it in my closet. So,
was it the worst day of your life?
It gets worse. Okay, so now I have to go back with Ote's parents, or with Sapito, and we're driving back, and I'm crying because I'm like, oh, I can't believe I can't go, blah blah blah. And then I go to get my bags, and my bags are gone. They're already on the flight, so they end up losing my bags. But it gets better. Okay, they lost my bags. My bags were somewhere in the fucking Midwest or in California. Never, it's been 2 weeks. So I'm like, all right, well, I have to file a claim, and I had filed a claim for having $3,000 worth of stuff in there.
Yeah.
And they gave me a check for $3,000. Okay, so I made $3,000. Okay, and then a month later, a package shows up at my door, and it's my suitcase. And so I got all my clothes back and everything, and I made $3,000. So, would I take $3,000 or meeting Plus 44? I'd rather meet Plus 44.
Okay,
I'd rather meet Plus 44.
Wow. Yeah, as a 13-year-old, what are you gonna do with $3,000?
Yeah,
not much.
I don't even remember what I did with it. I think I might have bought one of my first guitar things.
Okay,
actually.
that's
not sure.
You'll see in this next month here. December, Plus 44's AOL session premieres. They do an in-store signing at Tilly's in Sacramento, California, and at a Virgin Megastore in San Francisco, California. They perform at the Boardwalk in Sacramento, California, ending the first stint of the When Your Heart Stops Beating tour. I didn't see anything on Los Angeles. I'm sure they did a signing in Los Angeles, but I'm sure that's the one that
they did.
Your
yeah, they
went
did.
To.
Yeah, I have an autograph from it.
Or it could be like my friend growing up, my neighbor, who wanted me to come over so bad that she said she had Tom DeLonge's signature. And I came over, and it was spelt wrong. And at first I believed her. I was like, oh, yeah, that looks real. I don't know. Cursive, sure. And I looked at it real close and was like, that's spelt funny.
That's so funny.
So maybe that's what happened.
Only Araya. 2007 in January, so we're in a new year. It's a new era. 2007. We were in 2006. Now it's 2007.
Okay.
Where were you in 2007?
I was probably putting on heavy eyeliner, probably trying to buy weed on MySpace, and getting my phone taken away in class all the time.
2007, I was a sophomore in high school. I was a starting quarterback for my football team, and I was skimboarding and surfing every day of my life and drinking. A lot.
Some things never change.
Okay. January 6, 2007. Plus 44 headlined the Guitar Center Drum Off at the Fonda Theater in Los Angeles, right down the street.
There you go.
From May to July, Plus 44 tours with Fall Out Boy, The Academy Is, and Paul Wall. And I was at this tour.
The 2007 Honda Civic Tour.
I was there, and The Academy Is killed it. Paul Wall, he actually was throwing out grills into the crowd.
Oh, this is what you were talking about.
Yeah, so Paul Wall was throwing out grills into the crowd, and they were like in like little like those things that, you know, when you put quarters in and like you turn it and then like the little toy comes out, it was like that. And so
like
Paul Wall was
capsules.
singing the song, the Grills song, and did that. Academy is such a good band. I love them. And Fall Out Boy was sick, but obviously Plus 44 was the best. The band begins slipping old Blink songs, What's My Age Again and The Rock Show, into the set list, despite the band's rather adamant stance against doing so months before. Apparently due to Hoppus and Barker's fond feelings with Blink-182.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if I was in a new band and the other band ceased to exist entirely, I think I would want to still sing some of those songs. Like they never stopped loving
We were all
Blink.
waiting. Let me tell you, someone that was there, we were waiting for it. And we were so stoked when they did play it.
You got to hear it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I think we got Rock Show. I'm pretty sure. I forget, though. I just remember we were pumped. We were so pumped. And I remember me and Ote met these girls there, and they were sitting in front of us, and we were, like, talking. And then we got their MySpace, and I think I'm still friends with them on Facebook somewhere. I don't remember their names, but they were super cool. Girl at the Rock Show. Then they played at the Roxy. And then this was Plus 44's last concert, which coincidentally at the place where their first concert took place a year prior.
Roxy, yeah.
And that was their last show?
Yeah, that's the last show that they played as Plus 44.
Dude, they got to do another run. Wouldn't that be cool?
I
Imagine this.
I know what you're going to say, but go right ahead.
Boxcar Racer, Angels and Airwaves, Plus 44, and Blink-182. Maybe one show. Imagine how cool that would be.
Insane.
Just do one show in California. We'll be there. And give us backstage passes, please.
Okay, 2008. Mark stated the band had decided to re-enter the studio in preparation of a second studio album for Plus 44. Mark and Travis spent the remainder of the year in discussions with record companies before announcing that the planned next Plus 44 album would see its release via Interscope Records, a subsidiary of Universal Music Group. According to journalist Joe Schumann, I have that book, the Blink-182. It's like the bands, the breakdown, and the return. I should have brought it. Little work commenced on the album. Barker started releasing hip-hop remixes on May 9th, 2008, and he hoped to collate his growing collection of remixes with a bunch of new tracks on which he was working. Eventually, the project would become a solo album, with Barker producing it all himself. We all remember the Travis remixes he would do back in the day. With,
yeah, they were cool. Yeah.
Was it Lil Wayne?
Yeah, Lil Wayne did one, yeah.
It was just like a bunch of
I think it was for
hip-hop
Amelie,
artists.
right?
Amelie?
Amelie.
I think there was more than that, but that.
But they did it. He did a Blink song too. Lil Wayne did. I think he did "What's My Age Again" or something.
That's cool. By August, Mark began recording material for a possible solo studio album at Opera, while Barker worked on his solo album too, although the duo continued to work together. And I remember reading an interview where Mark said the cool part about like Opera Music Studio, you know, it's a 2 studio rooms studio. It's small. We went to it today. It's small.
Yeah.
So, you know, they've recorded at every major studio you can imagine and had, you know, everything accessed to them easily. And but the cool part about this one is like it's just them. They don't have to fight with anyone for studio space, and they both could work simultaneously because there was 2 studio rooms, and they both, you know, it was a good investment, I think. I don't know that they still own it. I don't think they do. I know that they released, or that they recorded part of 9, part of Neighborhoods, and part of Dogs Eating Dogs, probably maybe a few other things there as well. But I think the last one was like 2015, so I'm not sure if since then they've sold it. I'm pretty sure they did sell it. They all have home studios by now, I mean,
that studio seemed pretty cool. We actually tried to go in and nobody answered, even though we do think someone was there. We should have pressed the talk button.
Probably.
Next
But we
time.
didn't want to disturb if someone was there, like, recording music.
Imagine Mark was there. That'd be so
He's
funny
like,
if
"What the fuck
he's
do
just
you want?"
like, he's like, I recognize these people. In 2008 of September, Barker and collaborator DJ AM, also known as Adam Goldstein, were involved in a plane crash that killed 4 people, leaving the 2 the only survivors.
We're not going to talk too much about the plane crash, but this changed the trajectory of Blink, and tragedy seems to bring them
back
together.
Yeah, I mean, that's what One More Time's about.
That's right. We
And
just wanted to
also,
it's relevant to the timeline, so that's why we wanted to mention it.
And it also doesn't say it here, but also rest in peace to DJ AM. He ended up passing away
a year
shortly after.
Prior, yeah. Or, yeah.
Year
after.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's terribly sad.
All I can say is that we're grateful that, you know, we still have Travis, and that it's a tough situation. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
We'll just get that.
I mean, we're happy that he seems to be on a path to health and wellness. He's got Barker Wellness, and he does all these things like the Run Travis Run event to stay healthy physically and also mentally. I think he's sober for the most part, or maybe entirely, and he's doing he's doing the work to live a healthy and happy life. So
Travis Barker has to be one of the toughest people. Think of all the stuff this guy's been through, and then even when he was touring hurt, he played with one arm. He played with one leg.
He's a beast for sure.
He's just the guy is probably one of the most solid people in the world. I actually met Travis one time, by the way. My band Wavy Trees, we were headlining the Whiskey A Go-Go that night, and he happened to be there. And he was playing something with Youngblood when Youngblood first came out.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing a thing at the Roxy with him, and but Travis was nicest dude ever.
Yeah, I've only heard good things about his personality, so that's nice.
DeLong visited Barker in the hospital, and an October 2008 visit at Opera Music laid the grounds for what was going to be the Blink reunion.
Opera Music was the place where they discussed the original discussion.
Getting back together.
Yeah, 2009.
Year I graduated high school. After Blink-182 reunited in February 2009, Hoppus told Alternative Press that Plus 44 was on a hiatus. Although in an interview with Blunt magazine in 2009 of March, he indicated that it would continue eventually. But we're still waiting.
So yeah, we are still waiting, and these are, that's kind of the end of the immediate history of Plus 44. However, some things would come out years later in different interviews. Wall of Sound asked him if he would ever consider reuniting Plus 44 to play shows again, to which he replied, "Maybe. I would never say never, but I haven't talked to Craig or Shane in years, and I think that they have moved on in their lives and we're in a different place. But that album holds such a special place in my life and in my
memory.
And the lyrics and the making of that album was a huge moment of me working through the death of Blink-182 at the time, and that holds a really special place in my heart. So I'd love to play it again at some point. And then obviously in the 2024 One More Time tour, they would do a slowed down version of When Your Heart Stops Beating along with Boxcar Racers. There is.
You can hear the pain that he's talking about. You know what I mean? In this album. And it's so beautiful. Like, that's when the real art comes out of anybody. When you're just going through it and you don't know where your future leads. You don't know where your life's going. You kind of feel hurt by everybody around you and you just feel cornered. And then that's when I feel like that's the best time I've ever wrote anything, is when I was down the worst. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
And trust issues aren't just developed from your parents or your partners. It's also from your friends and bandmates. And
Ote, you hear that? No, I'm just kidding.
So critical reception.
In the United States, the album debuted at number 10 on the Billboard Hot 200 with approximately 66,000 copies sold in its first week. Do the math there, because records were not cheap back then.
Mm-hmm.
The album received generally mixed reviews from music critics. Fuck the critics. The New York Times described it as zippier and catchier.
Zippier and
catchier than Angels and Airwaves. Debut studio album, We Don't Need to Whisper, but it concluded that neither band was as good as Blink-182. As of September of 2011, the album has sold over 247,000 copies in the U.S. alone. Okay,
so
now we're into the track list.
This is a good one, guys. I'm going to be completely honest here and tell you that when Your Heart Stops Beating came out, I bought the CD because I loved Blink and I would buy anything for Blink. And I don't remember listening to any of it, really. I know the single because of the music video, or there was a few singles, but I only knew When Your Heart Stops Beating because of the music video. And I probably listened to the whole thing like once or twice, but I don't remember it. And I've done a deep dive these past couple weeks, playing it nonstop, and I fucking love it. I think it's awesome. So for me to say that, I think it's kind of unique because like you're a fan from that era, and I'm like someone that's newly listening to it, and I'm like, wow, this is fantastic. So it's good. It's a good record.
I would love to be able to listen to it and
with fresh ears.
With fresh ears. Yeah.
It's
So
awesome.
it is really cool that you are discovering it now, because it gives me more appreciation for it as well.
Definitely. So we're gonna start with the opening track, Lycanthrope.
No, it's lycanthrope.
What's that?
Oh my God! Can we get Google out? Get Google. Hey Google, what does lycanthrope mean?
Here's the definition of lycanthrope: a werewolf.
Okay. A werewolf. Lycanthrope. This is a really badass beginning song.
Really sets the tone for the record.
Really sets the tone for the record. It's upbeat.
I will say too, like, I love Tom's guitaring, but the guitars in this record are really standout worthy for me. And there's two guitars because Shane is lead guitar and I think Craig is rhythm. Maybe I have that switched, but I think it really worked. I don't know who did what in this particular song, but the guitar is really memorable for me.
The guitar.
Good opening track. Then we got Baby Come On.
Quit crying your eyes out.
Baby Come On. Is that how it goes?
Something familiar about this? The past is only the future with the lights on. Quit crying your eyes out, baby.
Yeah, it's a good one.
One of my favorite lyrics of this whole record isn't Baby Come On. It's the first verse, and I'll just read it. It's she's a pretty girl, she's always falling down, and I think I just fell in love with her, but she won't ever remember. It's written really well, but then it goes, and I can always find her at the bottom of a plastic cup, drowning in drunk sincerity, a sad and lonely girl. I just always thought those were really cool.
He's a really poetic writer.
Should we cover this?
The song, not that song.
Oh, come on.
The song starts getting good. The record starts getting good for me with When Your Heart Stops Beating. That's when everything's changed.
No.
I think the first two songs are great and they're worth being on the album, but
it
only gets better.
You want to know something funny?
My take.
So you want to know something funny from someone who's been listening since the beginning?
Sure.
I think that's the song I skip.
Baby Come On?
No, When Your Heart Stops Beating. Yeah,
I skip it too just because I know it. It's like the one that I know very well. Yeah. And that's normal. I think he's like, we probably all skip like What's My Age Again.
I do skip What's My Age Again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
Doesn't mean it's a bad song. It means we've heard it 4,260,000 times. So.
Yeah. So what is this note you have here?
So I wrote notes. These are from Wikipedia. So excuse me for not taking my own notes.
Well, John, shout out to Wikipedia. We appreciate you. That's it.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what Wiki had to say about When Your Heart Stops Beating. It features snotty, mid-range British-sounding Telecasters and was inspired by the story of Sid Vicious and Nancy Spungen, You Love Your Lady, and outside of that, fuck everything else, according to Mark.
Amen.
Yeah, I think that's a good take. Then we're getting into Little Death.
I love this song so much.
So newly listening to it in 2024, this was the first song that stood out to me. Doesn't start out great.
Song.
Like the opening of it is kind of like annoying. But then as you listen, the chorus is fantastic. The lyrics are really beautiful. I love Little Death. It's definitely top 3, no doubt for me, but it might be my number 1 still.
This is
hard
Fall
to say.
Asleep with the windows open.
Remember with the worst you said and done. You close your eyes and see me.
Little death makes life more meaningful.
I stand no chance at all. It shows his vocal range too, which is cool because, in the very beginning of this podcast and early Blink, we talked about how Mark struggled to really find his voice. And I think, obviously, since then, he's become a great singer. And this album does show his vocal capabilities.
Yeah, definitely. And he reached new heights with it for sure. And stuff that you see later in new Blink stuff,
Absolutely. Okay, so this is what Wiki had to say about Little Death. A moody lo-fi song that went through numerous changes throughout the recording, beginning in Barker's basement. It was intended as an allegory to what Hoppus and Barker dealt with after the breakup of Blink-182. Hoppus felt both hopeful and defeated while writing the song and intended to make it an appreciation of life after hard events. In addition, he was inspired by the various methods of communication in the 21st century and how they can often result in too much or too little conversation, especially among loved ones. Another interesting thing, I believe little death means orgasm.
In like just a general term?
Yeah.
I need some little death in my life.
Okay, moving on.
155.
155.
So you know why it's named 155?
Nope.
Because that's the BPM of the song.
Nerds.
I thought you were going to freaking recording school or something.
I fucking hate it. I'm in an audio theory class and I don't listen. I literally just am doing other shit on my laptop the whole time. I hate that class. It's a requirement for my certificate, but the teacher's great. Shout out to you, professor. Not going to say your name because I don't want you to feel bad that I hate your class, but
yeah, because we're viral now, so you got to be careful.
It's just boring. He's not boring. He's a great guy, interesting. It's just, I don't fucking care how the ear works.
Me neither.
I learned about the cochlea. I don't care. What's that? Don't care.
I don't care, and I don't want to know, and I don't want to fucking care.
I don't care. So 155 is a heavily layered synth-driven track that contains hand claps and Cure-esque guitars. You know what I think when I hear the beginning of 155 is Wavy Tree's song, Indie Rockers.
Really?
Yeah. What do you think about that?
That's cool.
Yeah. I don't think you copied them. It's different sound. It's just that's the song. Like when I hear it, I'm like, oh, that sounds like that.
I love that. Yeah.
And because you're the master owner and the songwriting owner, I can play a clip of that song for you now.
Here's Indie Rockers.
And here's Indie Rockers. Okay, and we're back. So
and this is not the time or place for us to speak like this. And I'll never dream. Let's hollow eyes and let's go down to the water. I love that song so much. But the next one, this might be my favorite song on the album.
Lillian. It is a fantastic, fantastic song. Definitely top 3 for me, no doubt.
Dude,
possibly
Lillian,
my number 1.
I'm curious to see what Wiki has to say. Why don't you tell us?
Okay. It was inspired by Mark's residence in San Diego before the move to Los Angeles. I lived in a part of San Diego that's one of the most beautiful places in the country, but it's also one of the most evil, sickening places, says Hoppus. People are just ugly to one another. The title was inspired by a woman, probably named Lillian, who started a strict homeowners association in the city.
What? Really? No way.
I mean, I don't know. Wiki might not be honest.
I really like that, though, because, I like hearing about all this stuff, because I have my own interpretation of everything, and I don't care what this says. It's always going to be my interpretation.
Exactly. I like to hear what Mark has to say about the songs, though.
Exactly.
That's what's interesting. Exactly. However, I wish we would have done this for previous episodes. We did do it for Ava, but before that. But whatever, we're doing it now, okay? We're learning and we're growing and evolving. So Lillian is a good song. I really love it.
Dude, me and Ote, we used to jump like into the pool at the part. Would be like da-na-na-na-na-na-na, and she's trying to sleep it off with her head on my shoulder, and I'm trying to keep it out of my thoughts when I hold her.
Your heart is a grave, to be perfectly honest. Your mouth's a smoking gun, and you smile while you're just in
the knives in my stomach till everything is gone. Take all you can from me. Homeowners Association.
There you go. Cliff diving.
This is a good one too.
I skipped this one.
This was the song of the summer when it came out.
I skipped this song.
Really?
Yeah.
We heard it in the car.
Inspired by Mark's teenage summers growing up, where he would embark upon his friend's house and dive into the pool from the rooftop.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, that's me and Ote. That's me. I swear. We got to get Ote.
Let's get him on the horn one of these days.
We'll get him on the horn one of these days just to have him say a couple words because this was our. That's so funny. Literally, that's what we would do to this album. That's so crazy.
Then we got Interlude, which this is for me when the album starts to take a more electronic turn and it gets darker. You know, this is where you can start to see the Postal Service inspiration.
Weatherman, dude. This is the good chunk, dude. Like Lillian, Cliff Diving, Interlude, Weatherman.
I skip Weatherman, just for the record. Another early composition that was written directly following the breakup of Blink-182. Mark says, I was driving to Travis's house and the whole Blink thing had just gone down. We had been talking about making a really dark, dirty song. The song was launched from the line, just let me slip away, I'm barely holding on.
Let me slip away, I'm barely holding on. Every now and then I feel the end of us. And then, I love the way you breathe inside my head. Dude, come on. Oh
it's
my
fine.
God.
I don't think any song in this record's bad. I just skipped it.
You skipped it. Yeah, it's okay. You'll get there. So that's the thing. You're not wrong because when I first heard the record, I skipped that too.
Okay.
But then once you start to really dive, then you're going to be like, you're going to cry to it and you're going to be like, oh my God, this is my favorite song ever.
There you go. Okay, this is definitely top 3 for me as well.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that was a good one.
No, it isn't is so good, guys. Obviously, this is the one that is clearly about Tom and the, breakup of Blink. Really powerful stuff. I don't know what else to say about it. So it's about coming out. This is what Travis had to say. He said it's about coming out a year later and telling the truth. Barker said, for a year, people were saying that what Tom did was valid or called for. It eats at you. So maybe you have to talk about it and maybe you have to write a song about it. So nobody's ever directly shitting on, Tom per se. It's just more like, writing about your feelings and your experiences. That's what songwriting's all about. And good for them.
Yeah, I definitely remember hearing the song for the first time and thinking, holy shit, can't wait to hear the rest. But I don't like to think that they were spiteful to each other because I always see them in the light where they all love each other, like Blink-182.
Yeah, but it's normal.
But they definitely had their days, man, where they just didn't even care about each other anymore and just didn't even want to fucking be around each other.
It's unfortunately true of just any relationship dynamic.
Yeah.
So
she knows.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Curse my enemies forever.
Let's slit our wrists and burn down something beautiful. This desperation leaves me overjoyed.
As fading lights that
lead us past the lies that we destroy. And then he goes, please understand.
This isn't just goodbye. This is I can't stand you.
I wonder how Mark or Tom felt when he first heard that.
Sad.
I wonder if he was like, fuck these guys. Motherfuckers, they're fucking saying they can't stand me. Who knows?
It's fair, It's fair. It's all fair. Everyone's feelings about the situation was fair. Mark's was fair. Tom's was fair. Travis was fair. Okay. Make you smile.
Smile. Yeah.
Make you smile. Yes. So for me, this is the Postal Service song. Let me lead with saying I'm a huge Postal Service fan. And there's been times in my brain where I'm like, can you imagine if Ben Gibbard and someone from Blink ever collabed? And this is what that would sound like if Postal Service and Blink-182 collabed. It's a beautiful song featuring vocals from Carol Heller. It's got that, back and forth, same as Ben Gibbard and Jenny Lewis with Postal Service. It's nice, and, it starts with the electronic drums, and then actually in the end, you can hear more of Travis's real drums, which is cool. So yeah, the Postal Service influence is noticeable. The song was initially dubbed Puppy Killing Machine, a name created by Heller that Hoppus deemed so ridiculous in relation to its upbeat, poppy nature. But, I kind of like that, not fitting song name, but I think Make You Smile is perfect because it says it in the song.
'Cause I just want to make you smile if you want to stay with me a while.
Pretty good.
We probably nailed that.
Yeah. These new mics, by the way, chatters.
Yeah, we new micing. We are taking this podcast to the next level. We're going to get some cameras. Before that, though, let's get into chapter 13.
Okay.
Because this song is one of my favorite songs.
Great outro song. So the anthemic chapter 13 closes the record and was inspired from chapter 13 of Dante's Inferno, which revolves around suicide. I had this image in my head of a guy seeing a woman across a crowded room, and in that instant, he knows exactly what's going to happen. He falls in love with her, goes crazy, and kills himself in a hotel room, says Mark. That's a good way to end the album, huh? Yes,
and
it
I
is,
love how the
Mark.
total length is 44 minutes.
Let me try to remind myself what the line in this what in this song is. Can you kind of sing it for me?
And my heart hangs from a noose, like your footsteps in crowded rooms. All right, where's it at then?
Filled with sunsets of autumn blooms,
Is this what you imagine? Catch a glimpse from her empty stare, hidden eyes behind her auburn hair. Catch my breath for the smoke to clear, and it's just as it should be. My best laid plans to beat and break your heart. Okay, let me see. Oh yeah. Okay. Listen. This is how the album ends. I'm scraped and sober, but there's no one listening. So he repeats that line over and over again. That's what I was saying.
I find it interesting that he is talking about no one listening at the end of the Plus 44 record, when the beginning of Angels and Airwaves, We Don't Need to Whisper, the opening singing line is everyone will listen. I don't know. It could be a conspiracy, guys. I might be just starting some drama right here, but could have some relevance. Okay. Yeah, so that was a slow burner for me, chapter 13. It was a skippable one for me at first, but now it's one that I really, really enjoy. This whole record is really, really great, and you can not only hear Mark's vocal capability, but also his songwriting. He's such a great songwriter. I think they both, Tom and Mark, bring something to the table when it comes to songwriting. But even in the earlier Blink stuff that was like goofy, like he's always been.
Yeah, like what's his song that's about his herpes? Don't Leave Me.
Yeah, and Going Away to College.
Dude,
that's one of my favorite Blink songs. That's forever. A great one. It's just he's such a good writer.
So little thing. I'm live all the time. If you go on Moondoggies Breaks, eBay Live, I'm always there. I put on the Mark, Tom, and Travis show and played it in the entirety in the background. And everyone was like, dude, these guys would be so canceled now.
They really, really would.
And I think I got flagged that day, and I can't play it anymore. So sorry, guys, but I played the wrong record.
Yeah, you did. Still my favorite one, though, for the record. Okay, so there's some bonus tracks for this record. One is Baby Come On, the acoustic version. And one is Weatherman acoustic version, which is
I don't know if I've ever heard that.
And then the Japanese release includes When Your Heart Stops Beating music video as well. Mm-hmm. I'm going to fly through these credits.
Yeah, go ahead, yeah. I don't want to say them.
So Plus 44, we obviously have Mark on lead vocals, bass guitar, additional guitar, and production. Shane Gallagher is the lead guitar. Travis Barker did drums, percussion, keyboards, and was a producer. Craig Fairbough, vocals, rhythm guitar, and keyboards. Additional musicians would be Carol Heller. Rhythm guitar, vocals, and additional writing on No It Isn't and Make You Smile. Production, we got Jerry Finn, may he rest in peace, for co-production and mixing. Chris Holmes was the engineer and did mixing on Interlude. James Ingram was the assistant engineer. Chris Lord-Alge mixing on 155. Brian Gardner mastering. Mark Williams A&R. The management was Eric Hellman, Irving Azoff, and Jonathan Coulter. They were all part of Azoff Music, which is Irving Azoff's management company. Okay, I didn't realize that was their manager. Interesting. Artwork, Chris Siglin and Max242 did the album art. And then Estevan Oriol did the photography, who did the photography for Blink stuff, too. I think the self-titled album, if I'm not mistaken. And now that brings us to our crossword segment of the podcast.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so pull up your little phone. So we're going to walk you through the process of how to find our crossword puzzles. Okay, so there's two places you can find our crossword puzzles. One, under our highlights section where it says crosswords. You can go there and you can click on it from one of those links. Oh, wow. However, you can also go to the links section and go down to crossword puzzles, which will take you to our link tree that has all of our crossword puzzles in one location. So yeah, then you go there and then you click on whatever crossword puzzle you want to do. Today we're obviously going to do the Plus 44. If you want to do the crossword on your own, I would probably not watch this segment. You can skip to the end or stop watching here and go do the crossword yourself. Otherwise, we're going to do it with you here. So good luck if you're going to do it, and have fun, and let us know how you did. Watch the whole video to see what Zach scores. And here it is. We're going to see if Zach can do better than he did on the Angels and Airwaves crossword.
Okay, one of the singles from When Your Heart Stops Beating is called Baby Come On. Right here. plus 44, United Kingdom. Upon completion, the record's tentative title was Little Death.
So that's right. The original title for the album was going to be Little Death. I think When Your Heart Stops Beating was a better choice.
This song seems to tackle on Blink-182's breakup head on. No, it isn't. The band joined Plus 44 on the 2007 Honda Civic tour. Probably Fall Out Boy. Yep. I'm so smart. Blink-182 played this Boxcar Racer song. Oh, there is. On the Every Night on the One More Time tour. In the Dark, When There's No One Listening, and The Times When We Both Get Carried Away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be honest, I'm a bigger Plus 44 fan than I am Ava.
I'm glad to hear that because I'm a bigger Ava fan. So
you are, yeah, you
we
are.
need
That's why when you did that one, I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, for me, I know a lot more about Angels and Airwaves
When Your Heart Stops Beating was released in several different colors, most notably blue, pink, and green. This song was featured on Tony Hawk Pro Skater's Project 8, Lycanthrope. Make You Smile features female vocalist Carrie something.
Can skip it for now.
Let's see here. What's this one? Originally, the band had more electronic elements. Let's see here. Plus 44. What was the guitar player's name? I still don't know.
Is it their first name?
Yeah, something Fairbough. Well, you could do the note thing, right? Reveal a letter or a word.
Yeah, if you want to cheat.
Craig. Let's see this one. Your heart is a. To be perfectly honest.
Your heart is a. To be perfectly honest.
Your mouth is smoking.
Your heart is a. To be perfectly honest.
Heart is a. Blade. I think. I don't know. Who cares? Indonesian guitarist. Oh, I don't know what that is. Nervous. The Nervous Return. Left the band. The Nervous Return to join Plus 44. Okay. Let's see here. Legendary Blink-182, Jerry Finn. Your dad's name. Shout out Jerry. Shout out Jerry. You're the man. Best drummer in the band. The name of the North Hollywood studio, Opera.
Something else I'm not sure about is the spelling on opera.
It's O-P-R-A. But it should be with an H.
No.
Okay.
No, I originally read it was O-P-R-A, so there's not the E in opera. But then the more I read, the more articles included opera with the E, like spelled properly. But I don't know. Don't know. If you guys know, let me know.
Grave, not Blade.
Mm-hmm.
I got it. Okay, cool. I scored a 134.
134, not bad.
3 minutes and 56 seconds. That was actually pretty fucking good.
That's pretty good. See if you guys can beat him.
Okay, so that is Plus 44. That's a wrap.
Yeah.
Wonderful episode. I feel like we really killed that one. That might be our best yet.
I agree.
I think it might be the best one yet, yeah.
It's unfortunate that we'll only do one episode on Plus 44 because there's only one album. We're obviously going to do a lot more for Ava because there's more albums, but that doesn't mean we don't love Plus 44. I had so much fun learning about the band and listening to the album on repeat these past couple weeks. Mm-hmm. So much better than I thought it would be. I think I would give it an overall score of 7.5 out of 10.
What would I rate this one? I'd rate it at like a 9, dude. It's just because I heard it at the right time in my life, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And you loved it. You really love it. I loved it too. I thought it was great. We both love it. We just love. We're lovers.
We love. We're lovers.
Another exciting news, we do have some plans for the future. We're not going to really release any details just yet, but please stay tuned.
That's going to be cool, yeah.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram because we will be posting about it in the near future. It is a very, very fun event that we will be doing next month in Poway, California, also known as the birthplace of Blink-182, and we are so excited. So stay tuned. Make sure to follow us, watch our stories, and like and subscribe. And we will see you next time for I Empire.
I Empire, Angels and Airwaves.
Stay tuned.
Peace.
Bye.